Hey y'all, it's Megan. Good morning. Today's video, I'm going to show you how we're using our pigs to our advantage. So, Joel Salatin likes to say, utilize the pigness of the pig. So, if you remember in a previous video, I believe it was my homestead tour, I showed you this little section that we had the pigs on, that we're letting them till up for us. It's going to be actually our pumpkin patch. And I just want to show y'all the after effects of it and what they did for us. This is that same spot. I'm gonna try to add in a before picture. But we never cranked the engine on this right here, and we actually got 2.5 inches of rain last night from a thunderstorm, so it's a little muddy, of course, but this looks like it's been perfectly tilled with a tractor. And this is a very rocky hillside that we have here. You can see all the rocks there. But those pigs did an excellent job in about 3 weeks. They cleaned it up. So today we have built them a fence out through a mountainside that we have over here. Can't use it for anything else. And we're trying to utilize every square inch that we have here. Hopefully save on our feed bill a little bit. We're gonna let them out this morning into the woods. This is our first time we've had pigs forever. We've never put them out in the woods. So there's a first time for everything. So we've been working super hard trying to get this pig fence done. And we're about to let them out this morning. So it's gonna take them a little bit to realize the wire's down and the gate's open. Pigs are extremely intelligent. And they know that there used to be a wire there. Even though they just saw Andy take it down, they're still questionable about going through it.
It may take them
2 days?
a couple hours to go through it.
I always love this area of the house, of the farm, back here at the pig lot, because you can kind of oversee everything. You can see my chicken tractors out there. My cows and my horses are put up in the woods somewhere. They're not out there right now.
And the other chickens?
What other chickens?
The other chickens that are way over there.
Yeah. Can you see? I don't think I can see that in this video. No, my egg chickens are on the other side of those woods right there.
Alright, so as she said, this is the first time we've ever had pigs in the woods. This is the first time I've ever had pigs in like a 2-strand electric wire. I've always had that extra insurance of the hog wire with a hot wire on the inside. But one thing I do know is if you do this, you want to make sure you've got every bit of power on this fence you can. And we're going to check it one more time just before they get out, because if they come through that gate and touch this wire with no power on it, that right then is going to learn them that they're going to try to go through this wire. However, if they touch it and it's got power and shocks them, they're going to run away from it, and they're going to know to stay away from this wire, which they're already pretty well trained with an electric wire. We actually had a temporary wire run across inside the pasture and kind of split the pasture up just to see what they would do, and they respected it. So before they come out, we're going to check it.
9.9.
And we got 9.8, 9.9, and that's about the best you can ask for. So we're going to see what they do. If they'll ever come through that gate, we got it made. But this may take, it may take a couple hours. Then again, they may come through here in the next 10 minutes. But as soon as they come through, we'll show you. So while we're waiting on the pigs to come out, they're itching their way out here. They may be out sooner than I think. But I wanted to mention, when you're running a hot wire like this around wherever you're going to put your pigs, you want that bottom strand. That bottom strand is the most important. That top one's just kind of there to make me feel better about it. But the bottom one is the one that does the work, because pig keeps its head down all the time. It's always rooting, so a low wire is what's going to hold him in. And as they get bigger, or as they root up around the fence, that bottom wire will probably get raised or lowered, whatever it needs to do. The bottom wire on the bottom side of the hill down here, I'm sure it will have to be raised up eventually, because they're going to push stuff up against that fence. And we'll just raise that wire up above the up above the ground where they've pushed up. But our main goal here is this is a pretty steep hillside, and it's actually one thing that I'm not sure you want to do with a pig is run it on a steep hillside, because they're going to root away and everything that's up here at the top is going to be at the bottom. But we're just experimenting with it. This hillside is good for nothing. The trees that are in it are really of no value and probably never will be of value. They're all second growth timber. And there's a couple of nice trees in it, but it's nothing special. But it's a bunch of undergrowth and everything, and we're going to see if they clear this out. And I can tell you, if we leave them in there long enough, they'll probably start killing off these trees, which I'm not sure I want to do that, but we'll just see what happens and how fast they tear things up, because they will tear things up. This is, if I had to guess, you know, you can't see it all on camera, but it runs way out into the woods here, plumb over to a different road bed that goes up the mountain and back down to their main road that runs down to our garden. If I had to guess, it's roughly, probably almost an acre that's fenced in. And I'm hoping that with 6 pigs on an acre, that it'll take a while for them to tear it up. Now, if we had time to do it, we would rotate them through here, but with both of us working a public job, it's just not quite the easiest thing to do. And we would just divide it up into sections and let them stay here a couple weeks, take them on out, let them stay a couple weeks, and so on and so on. But right now, we're going to see how this works, and you know, you'll see it once something happens. You'll see what gets to happen. But it's totally new for us, and I knew a bunch of old timers back in the day that used to do it the same way we're doing it right here. So we'll see what happens, and keep our fingers crossed they stay in it. Main thing is going to be keeping power on this fence, and if anything gets on it to kill that power, we're going to have to be on it and get it off of it. So that's one nice thing about it. If we decide to leave, or we've got issues with this fence, all we've got to do is close that gate right there and shut that power wire back, and they're locked in their main lot right there, and they're not getting out of that. But anyways, hopefully they'll be out pretty soon here, and we'll show what's going on. Just one of them so far.
Well, one of the pigs already made it out. Probably the rest will make it out soon.
So far, this is the bravest one we have. The rest of them are digging the trench to come out. But pigs, oh, he got it. Did y'all hear that? And it doesn't hurt them. It just gives them one little bolt, and then they're fine.
That's scary.
But
yeah, trust me, I've been shot by this fence many times, and I'm still here.
But pigs love green. Now, pigs have to have more than just grass. They can't live on grass alone, and they need more than just feed. So a good mixture would be the protein from the feed, any kind of protein source. You know, pigs are omnivores, so all this grass is going to be really good for them, and the leaves and everything else. And then they're going to find plenty of bugs and stuff in here for protein, because there's a lot of rotten logs in there, and they'll eat those as well.
You know, like slop is my favorite food.
We're trying to entice the rest of them just a little bit.
It's coming.
Here it comes. Come on.
Mama.
This one over here is like having a great time.
We have one more that comes out.
Come on. Hey, one thing I do like about this fence, though, is it's that easy to get in and out of it. That woven wire over there, you either have to go in through a gate or climb over top of it. It's just not that easy to do.
Here comes
Here
some.
they come.
Okay, Maggie, get your...
Now here they come. We got 2 more that ain't decided to come out yet.
Maggie, we have 4 out.
Come on.
They're absolutely loving this. They barely even made it out, but They seem pretty happy.
The little red was keeping his nose buried.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna say that.
Then we've got this one right here.
He just wants to lay down, never wants to come out.
This is our biggest one, and he's real questionable about coming through. He just likes hanging out in the mud. Yesterday, we caught him in the water trough. He was laying down in their water. But yeah, he has no interest in going out to the wild green yonder.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to. I guess he just wants to stay in the mud, not the grass.
Yeah. Now this is something they say these coon pigs that a lot of people have, they don't do is root, but we've also had people ask why we don't ring our pigs so they don't root. But what do we tell them, Andy?
I always tell them our pigs anyways have a short time to live, and that's the one thing they get enjoyment out of in life is rooting. So I kind of hate to take it away from them.
Yeah, we're not going to take that away from them. We're just going to let them have at it. They're little mini bulldozers, even as little as they are.
Look at them now.
They found something they like right there, I believe. Yeah. All right, so they've made their way on up into the woods here, except we still have the one that refuses to come out. He's in there pouting right now. He'll make it out eventually.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're going to leave them be for a little while, and maybe old big boy over there will finally decide to come out and quit pouting. But he seems pretty upset that he's over there squealing and everything else.
Daddy,
But he won't come out.
now he's probably gonna come out.
Maybe you'll get him out. You can try. But one more thing I wanted to say before we close out the video is I know she probably mentioned earlier that we were hoping it would cut down on the feed cost. Well, see, one thing about a pig is while he's rooting, he's getting minerals or bugs or whatever out of the soil that they need to grow right. When you keep them in a place like we have over the past several years, they just kind of deplete the sources in that spot. So we're hoping that they grow a whole lot better, being now that they can get out on fresh ground. Back in the old days, Daddy always told me if you had a pig that wouldn't grow, of course, around here was not near as populated as it is now, but you could throw it out of the lot and let it fend for itself if you had a pig that wouldn't grow, and he would get whatever he needed in the woods, whether that be bugs, acorns, nuts, whatever. He would get what he needed, and he would actually grow. And actually, back even in the older days, they didn't even have hog lots. They just had pigs running loose, and they would cut notches in their ears, and you would know whose pig was whose by the notch it had in its ear.
That's actually how the Hatfield McCoy feud started.
Really?
Because of that. Yeah.
But anyways, that's how they used to do it, and pigs would just kind of fend for themselves. I mean, I've heard several stories of local people around here who have had pigs get out, and they never saw them again. Well, then later on, a deer hunter or something would eventually come across that pig, and they'd say it was a monster, but it had fended for itself in the woods. But anyways, these days you can't do that. You can't let a pig run loose because you got a house here, a house there, a house up here. You know, and they're going to be in somebody's yard tearing it up. And it's just the reality of it. It's kind of sad, but it's true. Back in the old days, probably on this road, there may have been 2 houses. And, you know, and nobody cared if it did root their yard up, because a yard wasn't a thing back then. It was just you know, it didn't matter to people about their yard back then. They were more concerned about everything else going on. But anyways, we're going to let them see what they do, and keep our fingers crossed they stay in here. And I hope they don't end up in nobody's yard rooting it up.
All right, y'all. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll keep you updated on how the pigs in the woods are doing. Like I said before, we're hoping it'll cut down on the feed bill a little bit too, because corn right now is just outrageous, and every time we have to buy a trailer load of corn, it just keeps going up. So we're going to hope this helps a little bit. And anyways, I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to y'all next time.